Hi, sweet ones. It's Daniela, the host of Mom Curious. It's just me today. This is a solo episode. And before that's my tummy rumbling. I'm not going to edit that out. Okay. Before we just dive in, I wanted to thank you so much for listening and for all of your beautiful feedback. When I embarked on this journey to creating this podcast, I envisioned a sort of village coming together of mostly women, if I'm being honest, mostly women, but parents sharing their corners of the world to the rest of us so that we have some perspective. I think there's so much loneliness that's been permeating our experiences as parents or as prospective parents. And I think that loneliness comes from not raising children together the way we were, biologically made to do. And also, not knowing like what's normal or what's common or what to expect. And I think there are a lot of books on this stuff, right? But there's nothing like having someone tell you their story to know that, babies that are born way early can thrive in the NICU and what that might be like. Or if you have curiosities about being a single parent and bringing a person to this world, wouldn't it be nice if you could hear from another mother or father who had that same idea and brought it to fruition? Adoption and fostering and surrogacy, these are all topics that we're starting to cover here, and I'm so proud of it. And we wouldn't be able to do that unless your earbuds were willing to get curious. So I wanted to honor you. Okay, I got some questions here from executive producer Laura Lucetti, and I'm about to answer them. So I was telling Laura that probably one of my, lowest points and greatest teaching moments of my parental career was when I got the shingles. That's possible. I was 35 years old. No, I wasn't even 35. I was 33. And I got the shingles when Ness was 5 months old. So my firstborn, his name is Ness. And we had this beautiful pregnancy and birth. And I think I must have been struggling with postpartum anxiety and just like didn't know. I just like kind of thought like, oh, I'm just kind of an intense person. Like, oh, this is parenthood. And then I would like carry him around on my, like on those baby carriers, like all over New York City. We'd walk everywhere. I took him to auditions and rehearsals and if I had an appointment, his doctor appointments, like we were just out all the time hanging out with friends. He was on me in this carrier, and it was like the most delicious experience. And I just thought, okay, well, my back probably hurts because of that, not knowing that before you get the shingles rash, the wherever it's about to like pop just aches like crazy. And I was just like, oh, I've just been through pregnancy. I just like pushed a person out of me. Like I could do anything. I could just like keep going. And I did keep going. I totally did. I guess I have a very high tolerance for pain. Is that like a pat on the back experience? I'm not sure. But so I like go and get an x-ray. Oh, okay, like nothing. That x-ray, by the way, was probably like the first day I was like out and about. I remember the pictures, like laughing and giggling and being silly with the technician. I think it really was like my first day away from Ness. And I just like, what's funny is that there was so much joy in the, I guess, anxiety. I get high stress. I wasn't sleeping, and I remember like clutching the stroller whenever he was in the stroller and just like really clutching it. But I just don't. There was also so much joy and expansion and like delight that like cognitively, I didn't know that my body could like feel so much stress and so much ecstasy all at once. It was just like such a peak life experience. And so I'm like walking around with this backache thinking it's because I, have been carrying this like kind of gigantic baby. He was like he wasn't like long because I'm like a very petite person, but he was like chunky. He was like this chunky kid, and at 5 months already. And I just thought, okay, fine. I have a backache because I'm carrying him too much. Nope. No. That wasn't it. Because about a week or two after this like lingering kind of nervy, zinged pain in my back, I like broke out in this crazy rash, like boils right under my right breast. And as we've gone over a gajillion times on this podcast, those first 5 months it was a lot about breastfeeding, and that right side just like didn't produce enough, and it definitely produced less than the left. So, just a little, nod to how nothing's a secret to the body. I broke out in this terrible rash, and I like sent it to my kinesiologist, and he was like, yeah, no, that looks like shingles. And I was like, ha ha ha, I'm not 100 years old. That's definitely not the case. I went to my dermatologist. They were like, yeah, that's definitely shingles. The only thing you should know is that the shingles is the reactivation of the chicken pox virus that lays dormant inside your nervous system until your immune system is suppressed enough that it sort of pops off and hurts. Okay, great. Thank you so much for letting me know. What should I do about it? Well, here's some antibiotics, but also if someone hasn't had the chicken pox, don't be around them because you could give them the chicken pox by way of shingles. Okay, what? What? Excuse me? As I'm holding my child, right? Like I'm holding him all the time. I'm like breastfeeding him. It's game over. I know this. But I had to wait. Now, this was before COVID, where you're like, we didn't know what like incubation time was. I didn't know what incubation time was, but I had to wait like 2 weeks holding my breath, waiting for the pock to come on this little tiny face. And oh yeah, did it come. All over his little body. It was so bad. But the worst part wasn't like, he was uncomfortable. And, some would say like, okay, well, now you don't have to get him the vaccine. And, at least he has immunity like as is or whatever. But man, it like a mother, a first time mom, like watching her child just like dot up with pox. Ooh, terrible. It was terrible. But he was fine, so he was itchy and he was a little fussy, but really this baby was so happy that like, it really was fine. It was mostly my holding my own breath, but it was, a lesson for me in like, if you let your body just go unchecked like that, as the parent, body, even your mental, spiritual health, if you let it go, it is contagious. It might look different on the child or anyone else, really. But I had this experience where I realized like, oh, wow, my emotional hygiene, my attunement to self is so important. It is contagious. When I am healthy, vibrant, alive, well, how freaking yummy is that? And when I have the shingles, I am the source of dis-ease. Take that in for a second. So Laura has some follow-up questions for me. Who knew you could get them so young? Not me. How badly did you freak out when you gave your firstborn pox 5 months into being a new mom? The feelings, the worry. Give us all of the details. Yeah, no, it was terrible. I literally held my breath for 2 weeks, and I didn't sleep, which was, by the way, not helpful for a clearly stressed out system. But I think something I needed to learn was that stress is also just demand on the body, on the system. So stress doesn't necessarily mean angry, fretful, worry. Stress can just mean, wow, that was a huge workload, even though I enjoyed every second of it. So who knew that demand on the system, demand on the body could stress the nervous system, the immune system like that, and create, a reactivation of the chicken pox all over again. How did you take care of him if you were also in excruciating pain? Oh, I just did. Yeah. Assuming Dan, but worth getting into, especially for people who don't have that kind of support in a partner. Totally. Dan was helpful, but I definitely just kept taking care of him. Yeah. Did you feel this has anything to do with Lyme or was impacted on another level at all? Okay, so I do think that I didn't know I had Lyme disease until months later when I was like, why did I get the shingles at 33 years old? At peak, joy, albeit, yes, stress and demand and whatever else. But wow, was I happy to be a new mom to Ness. How? Why? And that was the beginning of me realizing my immune system's really fucked. I should look into this. My friend Jesse is the one who came over one day and he was like, waking up achy and doom and gloom. I don't think that's normal. I have this doctor you should maybe check out. So he took my blood work and lo and behold, I had Lyme disease. Yeah, I think it was probably a huge factor. Did you get the shingles shot after? She says, this is a personal question. I'm curious if you need it. Basically, can you get shingles again? I did not get the shingles shot after. And yes, I can get the shingles again. Except I take my health a lot more seriously these days. And I hope you do too, friend. Anyway, I thought I'd leave you with that freak story. Moral of the story. Oh, I wanted to also share that, part of my life's mission, as discussed in my human design teacher is coming on the podcast, by the way, is to do life, succeed and fail, succeed and fail, succeed and fail, but share so that others don't have to do the roller coaster I'm on necessarily, unless that's your, life's journey too. So how about we all take care of our bodies and attune to ourselves and learn this lesson the easy way so that only I needed to learn it the hard way that one time. How about that? Wishing you a beautiful, 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 beautiful day and a big thank you for listening. We'll catch you next week on the Mom Curious podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. I didn't usually ask to rate and review, but would ya? That'd be really nice. Okay, bye.